Get me what I requested for. Don't cross me or else. In the grand capital of Dravenshire, where towering glass palaces reflected wealth and power, Cassian Vels was king. He ruled over Velt's consortium, the most powerful business empire in Velmoria. His success was built on ruthless ambition, seizing opportunities, crushing rivals, and making secret deals that no one dared question. Everyone admired him, everyone feared him, but no one knew the truth, that his fortune came with a terrible cost. One evening, Cassian returned to his office after finalizing a major business deal. As he settled into his chair, he noticed a black envelope lying on his desk. There was no name, no sender, just a single message inside. Wealth gained dishonestly will never last. Fortune always demands its price. Cassian smirked and tossed it aside. Probably the work of a bitter competitor trying to rattle him. The next night, another black envelope arrived. This time, inside was an old newspaper clipping about a once powerful businessman, Valorian Dane. He had been the wealthiest man in Velmoria, ruling over an empire larger than Cassian's. Then one day he vanished. His wealth disappeared overnight. His name was erased from records. No one knew what happened to him. It was as if he had never existed. Cassian frowned. He barely remembered Valorian, but the story unsettled him. Then, on the third night, his world collapsed. Cassian woke up to chaos. His bank accounts were frozen without warning. His stock value plummeted due to fabricated scandals he had never even heard of. His allies and business partners refused to answer his calls. Within hours, his empire was gone. Desperate for answers, Cassian followed the only lead he had, Valorian Dane's name. His search led him to a forgotten estate on the outskirts of Dravenshire. Inside, sitting in a dimly lit study, was Valorian Dane himself. Cassian's breath caught in his throat. The man had not aged a day. "You came faster than the others," Valorian said, watching him with amusement. Cassian's voice shook. "What's happening to me?" Without a word, Valorian slid an ancient ledger across the desk. Cassian flipped through its pages. Names of powerful businessmen filled every line. Every 10 years, a tycoon in Velmoria fell. Their wealth vanished, their existence erased. Cassian's name was on the last page. His turn had come. Cassian clenched his fists. "How do I stop this?" Valorian smirked. "You already know the answer. Pass the curse on." Cassian's mind raced. He needed someone ambitious, someone greedy enough to take the cursed fortune. A name surfaced in his mind. Evander Solis, a young investor who had always envied Cassian's success. Valorian slid a fresh black envelope toward Cassian. "Make your choice." 1 week later, Evander Solis sat in his office, celebrating his greatest financial victory. He had just made his biggest deal yet, one that would solidify his place as the next business titan of Velmoria. As he poured himself a drink, he noticed a black envelope lying on his desk. He opened it. Inside was a simple message in golden ink. "Wealth gained dishonestly will never last. Fortune always demands its price." Evander chuckled, probably a prank. Like Cassian before him, he ignored the warning. At first, nothing happened. Evander's fortune continued to grow. He felt unstoppable. But then, the signs began. His bank accounts froze without reason. Business deals fell apart overnight. News reports accused him of scandals he had never been involved in. By the third day, his name started disappearing from records. Contracts signed under his name became void. His wealth, his entire identity, was being erased. Panic gripped him. He tried to contact Cassian, but Cassian was gone. Desperate, Evander followed the same path, leading him to the abandoned estate outside Dravenshire. Inside, he found Valorian Dane waiting. "You're too late," Valorian said with a smirk. "The cycle has begun." Evander's hands shook as he looked at the black envelope Valorian slid toward him. "There is only one way out," Valorian said. "Pass it on." Evander stared at the envelope. His mind screamed for survival. All he had to do was find someone willing to take it, just as Cassian had done to him. But then a thought struck him. What if he didn't play the game? What happens if no one takes the envelope? Evander asked. For the first time, Valorian hesitated. "That has never happened," he admitted. Evander's heart pounded. That was the answer. The curse thrived on greed, on men choosing their own survival over others. But if he refused, if he ended the cycle, he grabbed the black envelope and without hesitation threw it into the fire. Valorian jumped to his feet. "You fool!" he hissed. "You can't!" But it was too late. The envelope burned, its golden ink turning to smoke. The walls trembled, shadows twisting unnaturally. The ledger of names crumbled into dust. Evander braced himself, expecting pain, expecting to vanish, but nothing happened. The curse was broken. Valorian Dane gasped as his once youthful face aged rapidly before Evander's eyes. His body withered, his voice reduced to a whisper. It was never meant to end. And then, he was gone. The city of Dravenshire continued, unaware of the dark curse that had haunted its wealthiest men for generations. Evander Solis rebuilt his life, but this time he did it differently. No ruthless deals, no shortcuts, just honest work and fair trade. He had been given a second chance. And for the first time in Velmoria's history, the cycle was broken. The moral of this story is that greed destroys, but integrity lasts forever. What would you have done if you were Evander? Thanks for watching, and to enjoy more of these stories, kindly like, share, leave a comment and subscribe. This is Stories with Phyla.